Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. My name's Siobhan and in today's video I am doing this Instagram look and I have taken inspiration from this photo here. So if you do like the way that this turns out and you do want to see how I created it, then please keep on watching. Okay, so the first product I am going to take is my Revolution Hydrate and Conceal Concealer in the shade C1. I'm just going to be applying that with a brush. So I'm going to start with carving out my eyebrows. And then I'm going to blend it all out all over my eyelid. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go into my Proud palette by Jolie Beauty, and I'm going to go into the shade Jeffrey. We're just going to start packing it on from the inner corner, and we're going to go halfway across the eye and then bring it straight up to the eyebrow. Right up to the eyebrow. So as you can see, I'm doing slight little buffing motions, or you can stamp it on. It is completely up to you how you guys want to do this. I just prefer to wiggle it on as it's easier to blend into my next shade. Okay, now that that's placed on, I am going into the shade Graham and Nadia. I'm going to take that on a more stiffer brush. And I am aware that my eyelash on my right eye is hanging off. And we're just going to wiggle that just over the top of the pink in the same motion again. So from the inner corner right up to the eyebrow. And we're just going to keep on building until we are happy with the colour payoff. I'm now going back in with that brush that I used for the shade Jeffrey and just going over and blending them two together. Okay, once them two are blended together, I'm going to go back into the palette with a fluffy brush and I'm going to go into the shade Kath. And once again, we are just going to go above that. Oh no, sorry, I do apologise. We are going back into the shade Jeffrey. And we're just going to put that just above it. I realised it did go wrong there, but it's okay because I can fix it and it will all blend together anyway. Now I'm going into the shade Kath and we're just going to go over the last bit of skin that you can see, so it's going to be around and above everything else, and we're just going to blend them shades together. I'm going to take my Garnier skincare micellar water on a Q-tip or a cotton bud or whatever you want to call it, and we're just going to carve out that crease so it looks super sharp, and we're going to go right along, right up until we get to the eyebrows. So we're going to keep that shape constantly. Now that is all cleaned up, I am going to go into the shade Jeffrey, and I'm going to tap a little bit onto my hand, and I'm going to mix that with some of my C1 concealer, just so I can get the perfect colour for my crease. So now very carefully I am going round, and I'm going to follow that line that I have cut out previously. Okay, so now that that looks how I want it, I'm going to go into a flat brush, and I'm going to go into the shade below Cath. I do apologise, I don't quite know the shade name. And we're just going to pat that all over. So I didn't quite like how that looked, so I am going to go in to my Soph X Revolution palette, and I'm going into the white shade, and I'm just going to set that base properly. Okay, now that that's all set properly, I'm going to go back into the rest of the concealer that's at the back of my hand, and I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to do a winged liner with this. But instead of filling in the winged liner, I am going to be leaving a gap. and that's going to help me with my next process. Okay, now that that's done, I am filling it in with the shade Jeffrey, and I am going to clean up them edges with that pink concealer again. I have taken that shade Jeffrey once again, and I'm cleaning up the edges just so it's super sharp and that there's a gap in between the liner and the shadow. Right, next I am taking a orange shade, and we're just going to go just above that shade Jeffrey, and we're just going to blend them two together, and then I'm going to go into the shade Kath. So I'm just repeating them same steps again until it's nice and blended out. I'm going into the shade Jeffrey again, and I'm just going to stamp that all over the lash line. I'm now going to go back into my palette, and I'm going to go through most of them glitter shades, and I'm just going to stamp it on my brow bone in the gap where there's no product in between my liner and my shadow, and then I'm going to put some into my inner corner. Okay, now here comes the fun part. So I'm going to take some glue, and I'm going to go ahead and stick some stars everywhere where I've applied that glitter, but on the other eye. So I will see you guys in a minute to go and complete that. Okay, now that that is complete, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to apply some Lumiere black mascara. And then I'm going to go ahead and apply my dose of lashes in this style for 20. You can also use my code CHEV10 to get 10% off at the checkout. Next up, I am going to go ahead and do my face makeup. So I'm going to be taking my e.l.f. poreless primer and just apply that everywhere and then blend it out with a brush. I'm now going to go ahead and take my Primark matte foundation in the shade 102 and I'm going to apply that also all over my face and blend that out with a foundation brush. I'm then going to blend that out with a beauty blender. Up next, I have taken my concealer that I took to carve out my eyebrows and I'm just applying it in my usual concealed places and I'm going to blend that out with my sponge again after fixing my eyelash, which has been a nightmare because it won't stick today. Okay, so I did grab my powder, but I ended up dropping it, so that's not good. So I am going to go ahead and I'm going to take my Revolution banana powder and I'm going to go ahead and set under my eyes with that. I am now going to go ahead and I'm going to take my Rimmel London Stay Matte powder in the shade Transparent and I'm just going to dust that all over my face. I'm now going into the Bodyshop Honey Bronzer in the shade 03 and we're just going to go ahead and bronze our face up. Bring some colour back into it. I'm now going into my Olivia Hale Cotton Candy blusher and I'm just going to go ahead and blush up my cheeks. Because I did apply a little bit too much, I'm just going to go ahead and take my powder brush and I'm just going to dust away some of that product. I'm now going to take my MUA pink shimmer highlighter on a fan brush and I'm just going to highlight my usual places. I'm now going to take my Garnier Rose Water Mist, and I'm going to set my face with this. I'm going to go in to my Lottie London times Imogenation collection. This is the loose highlighting powder in the shade Pure, and I'm just going to go ahead and apply that just on top of the highlighter that I've already applied. I'm now going to go ahead and grab my Revolution lipstick in the shade Chauffer, and I'm just going to apply that quickly. I'm then going in with my e.l.f. Jelly Lip Gloss, and I'm just going to apply the littlest bit so there's a slight sheen to my lips. I'm now just going to finish this look off by spraying my face again with my Garnier skincare. So you guys, this is the finished look. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, then please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys in my next video.